Greetings, everyone. This is I'm Right.
I'm Right.
And I'm Jill Cox Cordova.
I'm Anthony Cordova.
So what you been reading lately, sweetheart? Do you still think you're an avid reader?
Yes, I do. Although I have slowed some.
To what pace?
Snail pace.
What pace was it before?
Snail pace. I was like a bunny rabbit.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I was. I was
not.
like a bunny rabbit, just inhaling books. But now,
no, you weren't.
Yes, I was. I was inhaling books and
No.
just like
No.
Yes, but the book I'm reading right now, I'm not going to say who the author is because I might meet him one day. I don't want to hear him say, "Hey, on your podcast, you said so."
So you
I'm
don't
not
like
really,
the book you're reading?
No, I'm really not enjoying this one, so that slows me down.
How long have you been reading this book?
I don't know, a month, maybe.
Is that what you think?
Yes.
You know you've been reading this book since May.
No, a month. You're confused. That was a different book. I read so many, you can't keep track. So you don't know.
You've been reading one book since May.
I've been reading.
I've read like 4 books since May.
Well, okay. Hey, maybe we should get to our episode, okay?
No, let's tell listeners to call it. Listeners,
no, we need to get to our episode. Call
and
in.
tell Tony that he is not an avid reader.
They don't know.
That number again is 404-594-2247. So in case you missed our last episode, you are now able to call in at any time during our podcast. It will not be live, so leave a message. It's a voicemail.
Yes.
And a voicemail box, I should say. So leave us a message and then and tell us which episodes you're responding to, and perhaps we may use it in a future episode.
Yes, we're looking forward to that. Again, the number is 404-594-2247. Lock it into your phone.
Lock it in. Okay. Yes. So now we can get to our episode.
Yes. What is our
episode this week? And this topic is, who is the star of our relationship? It's part of a segment that we call
Stand by Your Stance.
Tony?
Yes, Jill.
Do you think there's a star in our relationship?
In our relationship, yes, I do.
You do?
I do think there's a star in our relationship.
You do?
Yes.
Who and why?
It's you.
I think it's you.
It's you because you just outshine me in so many ways.
No, I really don't.
It's definitely you.
I don't think that's true.
Yes, you're brilliant. You have multiple degrees. You're beautiful.
Aww.
You speak well. Aww. And you're going to be famous, so you have to be a star.
I am not going to be famous.
Hey, you have to be famous because I keep telling people you're going to be famous.
You do keep saying that, but that doesn't make it true.
It is true.
It's not.
It's true.
It's not. Well, I think you're the star in our relationship.
Why would you think
whenever the two of us, in the days of when the two of us would go places and see people and talk to people, and those days, like a long time ago.
before COVID-19?
Yes. People automatically would just want to talk to you. And then if I'm there, they were inclusive, they would include me, but really they just wanted to talk to you. And people, there have been several situations where people were like, Tony, and, like calling for you when they knew me first, but they're calling for you. And so
that's because they was drunk.
But why call for you? Like, out of all the people they could have called to help them, they thought of you, and they had just met you. So that was really interesting to me. But there have been also times where people have said, for a good time, talk to Tony. And if you want to know something, talk to Jill. So I feel like that means I'm not fun. You're the fun one. You're the star. You're the one that people gravitate toward.
But you're. I mean, they don't.
You're speechless. Because I'm right.
They they come to you when they want knowledge.
Well, it depends on what the knowledge is. If people want to know how to start a business and run a business, they will definitely go to you, and they should go to you because that is your expertise.
I wouldn't say it's my expertise, but yes,
You're really good at that. You could just
well, I've worked. The difference is I've worked for myself, so I've been sole proprietor.
yes,
So
yeah, but so have I, and I still don't know nearly even a third of what you
but
do.
that doesn't make me a star of this relationship.
It does. People want to talk to you, and I'm just there.
I don't.
I'm just here, people.
Well, you know, my father.
Yes.
My father was just a regular working man. You know, went to work every day, came home.
Yes.
But my father was very charismatic. So when people would see him, they would just be drawn to him. You know, they just wanted to be near him. You know, just
like
because.
You.
So there may be a little bit of that going on, maybe.
So you think you got that from him?
Yeah.
Because I don't think I'm charismatic.
Sure, you
I am
are.
matter of fact.
You're not.
I don't think I'm charismatic at all.
No.
I think I'm matter of fact.
No.
And
you know what people always say about our podcast?
About our podcast,
and people,
or
yes,
me?
No, about our podcast and you is that, you know, people will, and these go for people that have known us before the podcast, right? They'll say, Tony, I thought you were the funny one, but Jill, boy, she really put some zingers in there on you. So you are.
They think I'm mean to you. That doesn't mean I'm funny. They think I'm mean.
No, they don't think you're mean. They think you're funny.
I think the listeners should weigh in. Do you all think I'm mean? Go ahead, tell me. Just tell me. I can take it.
Yes, because you can call in now, as you remember.
I can take it.
But Jill, does one person have to be the star of a relationship?
No.
Can't both people be?
Well, that
stars?
is actually my. So I have two answers to the question of who is the star in a relationship. If there is a star, if there's one that shines more than the other, if there's one that people gravitate toward, it's you. But on the other hand, I think we complement each other so much that a lot of times people say our names like we're one person. Jill and Tony. Jill and Tony.
Yeah,
Tony
see, but
Jill.
You get top billing. No, you always get
Tony
top billing.
Or Tony and Jill.
You always
it
get
just
top
has
billing.
A nicer ring to,
Jill and Tony. Jill and you get top billing. So
but
that
only
shows
because that has a nicer ring. No, it doesn't. It's like with my name. People say my name, Jill Cox Cordova, has a ring to it. So Jill and Tony has a ring to it, as opposed to Tony and Jill.
Yeah.
So it's not top billing. It's just one word.
I see it as top billing.
I don't think that's correct.
And then you have created some videos, and you are the star of your videos
because you made me do it.
But then there was I've mentioned this on the podcast before
at all.
But you put me in one of your videos, and you only gave me like 2 seconds of FaceTime, so I could not be
you're
the star.
Talking like a star. That's what a star would say. It's like, I didn't get enough lines. I didn't get enough FaceTime. That's what a star would say.
I'm talking like a wannabe. A wannabe.
You're talking like a star.
A wannabe.
I didn't get enough
FaceTime.
FaceTime.
Wannabe. I want to get some FaceTime.
Because the video that you're referring to, whose lecture was it?
It was your lecture.
So therefore, you
used me as a reader, and you didn't show me.
But I did show you. I showed you enough.
For 2 seconds.
You were shown enough to where people recognized you later when they saw you.
2 seconds.
Well, it was long enough for people to recognize you.
They knew my voice for sure. If they heard my voice, they knew me. Because my voice was in there quite a bit.
But people saw you and immediately knew it was you before you said anything. So that's a star. You are known. See?
Maybe.
You are known.
Maybe.
That's the definition of a star. Someone who is known by all.
Maybe I am a star. I only needed 2 seconds of FaceTime.
See?
And everyone
Thank you for proving
knows
my point.
who I am.
We could end this podcast right now.
No, we
because
can't.
we've already answered the question. But I do have another question.
What's the other question?
Who is the star of this podcast?
Oh, the podcast? Well,
You know that thing that
yes.
you convinced me to do?
Well, even though the idea of this podcast is and was my idea.
Absolutely. Because
and
I am a very private
but-
person.
and
we
I
have
know-
revealed far more
and I
than I ever
know
thought I would tell people.
I know people don't believe us when we say that because of your journalism background. But no,
not my idea.
I am the one that wanted
not
to do
my
this
idea
podcast.
for sure.
I grew up as a radio kid. I'm an older guy, so I listened to radio a lot, which I still do listen to radio quite often. So I was a radio kid. So, doing a podcast was like, wow, I can have my own show. So we can have our own show.
Did you hear that, listeners? He said
We.
So that, see,
we
he's
can
the
have our own
star.
show.
So that answers the question. You think you're the star of this podcast, right?
Well, what I usually say is that my role in this podcast is to be entertaining. Your role is to be the voice of reason.
It is?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
We've been doing this podcast for a year and a half, and I never knew that was my role.
Yes.
I thought my role was to just keep us on time and produce it. That's what I thought my role was, and to play off of whatever you say.
No, you
whether it makes sense or not.
No, you're the voice of reason.
I didn't know that.
How could you not know that?
I didn't know that.
You're always my voice of reason.
I am? Then why don't you listen to me more?
Or not.
You should listen to me more then.
Well, as I told one of my daughters, the other one I didn't need to tell, but one of my daughters, I would tell her, hey, you need to take a walk on the wild side. The wild side. Here's a parent telling his daughter to take a walk on the wild side. What kind of parent am I? Right?
Yeah.
I'm a very good parent.
You are.
But, some good kids, really good kids, need to take a walk on the wild side once in a while. See,
so what does that have to do with me in this podcast?
I help you. I help bring you to the wild side.
You do?
Oh, yes. Hey, Jill, if it wasn't for me, so maybe I am the star of this podcast, because if it wasn't for me and my antics with this podcast,
you do have antics.
It
yes,
would be a completely different podcast. It would have a total different energy to it if it wasn't for my energy. My energy.
Okay.
Listeners, I'm throwing my energy out to you right now. Can you feel it? Embrace it. Embrace it. Put your arms around it. Feel it.
How would you describe your energy?
Can't you feel it? Do I need to describe it?
I think you do. For some of the listeners that may not
my
be able to
energy
feel
is a fun, loving, very kind, and just happy about life. So this is what I try to bring.
How would you describe my energy?
Your energy is
during this podcast?
During this podcast, like right this moment.
Right this moment. What is my energy?
Your energy it's a little more reserved than mine. That's
a given. That's always.
That's so.
I am far more reserved than you are.
That's right. So,
I don't even think you know how to be as reserved as I am.
I don't. I do not. And that gets back to our previous episode, which was Tony says too much. Does Tony say, do I say too much? Do I tell too much?
You do.
So, but anyway, that's my role. That's what I do.
So your role is to be the opposite of reserved.
Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because I'm going to say something out loud.
Uh-oh, I'm scared.
But if we had two Jills doing this, like
it would be
Jill
great.
1 and Jill 2 doing this same podcast.
That's why I've always wanted to have a twin, so that you would have double.
No.
Jills.
I didn't say two Jills and a Tony. No, just two Jills. It's the podcast. It's two of you.
Okay.
Now,
are you saying it would be boring if there were two Jills?
Your words, not mine.
Are you agreeing with those words? You're saying I'm boring?
No, you could do a podcast where you interview authors. That would be nice. That would be nice. It would be, but it wouldn't be this. It wouldn't be what we have. I'm right. It wouldn't be. It just wouldn't be.
Well, we have a different relationship.
That's right.
But you're calling me the boring one in the relationship. What's up with that? That I disagree with.
Well,
I was agreeing with everything you said up until then.
You said it yourself. We'll go places and
because that's where you were headed.
Where's Tony? Where's Tony? If you want to have fun, find Tony. If you want to talk about something that
you don't have filters, I do.
Yeah. So yeah. That's what I do. That's my job on this podcast. Now, sometimes I do get serious on the podcast and with other things. Yes, I do have a very serious side, which a lot of people don't know, but I do. I have many things that I can talk very seriously about at length. But the podcast is not.
But when you had this idea to do this podcast, you didn't say, let's be funny. You didn't say, I'm going to be funny and you're going to be the reserved one. You didn't say any of that.
I thought that goes without saying. That goes without saying. Yeah.
Then why don't you just do the episode, the podcast by yourself?
Oh,
why include little old boring me?
But I couldn't. I couldn't do it by myself.
You could have.
This is our dynamic. Look, Jill, what I noticed years ago, when we have conversations with each other, we could be in the grocery store.
I don't like grocery stores.
I know. But if strangers just hear our everyday conversations, people turn and listen. They're fascinated by our everyday conversations. So I noticed
because we play off of each other.
Yes, but I don't think that's why I couldn't do it by myself. I could not do this.
Well, you could have had a different
by myself.
You could have a different premise for your podcast.
What would it be?
The Tony Show.
Oh, that's no.
Here I am.
Nobody wants the Tony. Nobody wants the Tony Show.
Here I am.
No, nobody.
Listeners, call us and let us know if you would like to have the Tony Show.
No Tony Show.
Yeah,
so no,
that would be fun.
But I need
because you're the fun one.
I need you. You are the better half.
I'm not. According to you, I'm the boring half.
But it's the better half.
You know, I'm going to remember that for the rest of your life, right?
It's the better half.
I will remember that.
But
for the rest of your life.
You were even surprised when people would say, "But Jill, you're so funny."
Because I wasn't trying to be funny.
Well, you have a dry matter of fact. This is the way it is, which
that's what I really think
can be true. You know, Jill, say it again.
What?
I don't speak like that. I speak like this. People, we have gotten more comments from that episode and you saying that.
And see, I laugh every time you say it because I don't understand why it's funny. It's like you were saying I speak like you were just sounding, but I don't speak like that. I speak like this. That's just a fact.
That's a fact.
That I don't sound like the way you say I sound. I sound like this. Yes, that's a fact.
That's a fact. Listeners, Jill really has a sense of humor, and she really.
See, the fact that you had to tell them means that must not be funny. She really does.
We laugh all the time. So,
but you laugh at weird things.
Again, we really do laugh all the time. We do,
but you laugh.
Laying in the bed at night, and we're just saying stuff to each other, and we're laughing. I mean, real laughter.
Yes, but you laugh at weird things that I say because usually
Jill,
I'll say something, you'll laugh, and I'll say, "Why are you laughing?"
Well, Jill,
you're the only one laughing.
Well, for instance, at one of your jobs, you wanted to feed your boss chicken wings so they could choke on them.
It wasn't my boss. That wasn't a boss.
And I couldn't stop laughing. I couldn't.
That wasn't a boss. Number one. And it was only in a moment that I was upset with him. And he happened to be eating chicken wings at the time. But I didn't really want him to choke on it. I didn't really want him to. And he wasn't my boss.
Well,
I would have been horrified if he actually choked on it.
It was funny to hear you say it. It was funny. I can't help it. It was funny. Choke on some chicken wings.
No, I'm not that mean. I'm not that mean.
No, you're not. You are very kind. And
why are you saying it like that? Why are you saying it like that? I don't even think you believe that. But I am kind and loving.
You are kind and loving. I wouldn't be married to you.
I believe the star of the podcast is you.
Well, I believe both of us are.
No, you don't. You just said that. That is not what you think.
No, and I said I couldn't do this without you.
Needing someone and who's the star are two entirely different conversations.
No,
who do you need to help you carry the conversation? Me. Who do you think is the star of the podcast? You. That is what you think. That is what you said you think.
Do you remember George Burns and Gracie?
I don't remember Gracie, but I remember George. I know that they were married, but
they had a show.
I don't. That's way before my time.
And she played the ditzy wife.
Okay.
And he was the one that had the jokes.
Okay.
Right? But she was really the brilliant one. She
Behind
was the one. Yeah, she was the one writing the jokes.
Okay.
But
she didn't get credit for that.
But George was like the star, but she was writing everything. So
and how much later did that become public? Like, because clearly she didn't get the credit for it until much later.
No, so I don't know.
What's your point? Why bring that up?
My point is that you write this. You know, we say
I don't write this show.
We say this isn't scripted.
It's
but
not.
Jill, you write everything that comes out of my mouth.
I do not.
I just read that.
You did not.
Jill, you.
Where are you going
write
with this?
Everything that comes out of my mouth.
Yes. No, in fact, I remember we were going to record a StoryCorps segment. Love StoryCorps, by the way. And I wanted to loosely script, like bullet points. So we should talk about this, and then this, and then this, and then this. And you were like, "Pooey," and you tossed my script aside.
I did not toss your script aside.
You tossed it aside. You tossed it, but you did say "pooey." Like, I'm not going by a script. And it wasn't even scripted out. It was just bullet points of talking points. So that's okay. When we went to record, I had my sheet with the bullet points, and you had nothing.
I had nothing.
So you just went by my lead.
That's why. See, that's why you're the star of the show.
I'm not the star of the show.
Yeah, I know. Listeners that know us they know that I say, look, Jill, it keeps me on track.
I do keep you on track, but I'm not the star. That's called a producer.
And
that's what producers do.
When I get out of control, she reels me in. So so you make this podcast happen.
Well, I think we should get to our second segment that we call
Give It a Rest and a Resolution.
So see how I did that? See what I did there?
I did see
you
what
said
you
I
did
keep
there.
us on track, and then I cut you off and kept us on track.
That's why you're the star.
Well, what's your conclusion and resolution here?
Well, actually, my conclusion and resolution is that I don't think anyone needs to be the star of their relationship. I think if two people have a good relationship, even though on the outside with others looking in, it may seem that one person is the star, but I don't think in a balanced relationship I don't think there is any stars. If they have a good, healthy, loving relationship, there's no stars.
Well, my conclusion resolution is that sometimes you can't help in some relationships. There is a clear star, and in ours, it's you, and in our podcast, it's you.
I disagree.
You can disagree if you want to, but I'm right. So
No,
there.
I'm right, Jill.
So there.
No.
Well, time for our reminder.
So, what do you think? What do you think?
Because I'm right.
Because I'm right.
So, listeners, you can call in. Tony said he disagrees with me on who's the star of our relationship, who's the star of our podcast.
So do remember to call in at 404-594-2247.
And again, this is not a live show, so do leave a message in the voicemail box and let us know which episode you're referencing, and tell us what you think, and leave a name.
Yes, a name. Yeah.
Just so that we can address you. Just so that we can address you.
Leave an alias if you wish.
Yeah, just so that we can address you when we use any or portion of your message.
Yes, and remember your alias.
That could be another episode of do you have an alias and why?
That's right.
Why do you have an alias? All right. Well, you ready to get to our last segment?
I am.
Well, that segment is called
I'm trying to help you.
So do you have any advice?
Any advice? Yes. If you're in a relationship and you feel that one person, the person you're with, is the star of your relationship, ask yourself why. Why do you think that? And why do you think that they are more of a star than you are? Because I believe we're all stars.
Aw, how poetic. We're all stars.
Aw.
Well, my advice is don't be competitive with the people you're in a relationship with. If somebody's the star, so what? Okay, let them be. Let them shine. Let them be who they are. Let them let them be who they are. And you be you. So if someone is the star in your relationship, or if you have a podcast in your podcast, let them be. It's okay. Because chances are don't change who you are to try to outshine them. Because people can always see through, see when someone's being inauthentic. And by the way, maybe they can't though, because sometimes people think that you joked about it. We don't script our this show. And some people think that, I am not, my comments back to you are not what they would really be behind the scenes. Some people think we're being inauthentic. And that just isn't true.
No,
we are really saying what we think. These are real conversations, that we're having. They're structured conversations because we have segments and we focus on a theme.
So that's good advice.
But we are who we are.
That's a good tip.
And we're not competitive with each other.
I will disagree on that.
We're not competitive with each other?
That we are sometimes competitive with each other.
Well, maybe in a
5K. You don't need
that time you ran a 5K trying to be faster than me. That was competitive.
Or when
but it's friendly.
Always beat you in tennis. So.
Oh my goodness. Bertha, if you're listening to this one, we got to play some tennis. So, he still thinks he can beat us.
I can.
Maybe we just let you. Make the old guy feel great.
Well, Jill, isn't it time to wrap this up?
You don't want to talk to me anymore?
Isn't it time to wrap this up?
I think you don't want to talk to me anymore.
Wrap it up. Wrap it up. We're out of time. Wrap it up.
I'm right.
I'm right.
I'm Jill Cox Cordova.
I'm Anthony Cordova.
Shout out to Gifford Ivan Cordova III for the music and Nick Zinke for the art. And I don't think I like you wrapping me up. But anyway, bye.
Bye.